And now for tonight's bedtime story. We've got Hildilid's Night by Cheli Duran Ryan, illustrated by Arnold Lobel and read to you by me, Joshua Paul. And it's sponsored by the Canadian Red Cross. Hopefully, you guys can all take a moment to donate and enjoy what that brings you. Thank you. So, tonight's story Hildilid's Night, a chaldecott honor winner. This book was first published in 1971 and reissued in 1986. This is Hildilid's Night by Cheli Duran Ryan and illustrated by Arnold Lobel. And here she is in the corner with her broom. Hildilid peeking out her window. Notice the ladder we have here. High in the hills near Hexham, there lived an old woman named Hildilid. She hated bats and owls and moles and voles, and moths and stars and shadows and sleep, and even the moonlight, all because she hated the night. If only, said Hildilid to her old wolfhound, I could chase the night from Hexham. The sun would always shine on my hut. I do not know why no one has thought of chasing away the night before. Hildilid cut a broom from twigs to sweep the night out of her hut and over the hills of Hexham. She swept and scrubbed and scoured and whisked, but whenever she looked out of her window, the night was still there, like dusk behind the rafters. Hildilid pulled out her needle and sewed sackcloth into a strong sack to see if she could fill it with the night and empty it beyond the hills of Hexham. She wadded and patted and pushed and stuffed, and she even sneaked up on the shadows, but she could not cram all the night into a sack. Hildilid dragged her heaviest cauldron to the fire so she could boil away the night. She ladled it, stirred it, simmered it, bubbled it, tasted it, and burned it, but she could not boil away the night. Hildilid gathered vines to tie the night up into a neat bundle. Perhaps someone will buy it in the market, she thought, but she could not tie up the night. Hildilid sheared the night like a sheep, but all that dropped from the sky was a little cloud. She tossed the night to her old wolfhound, stretched on the rushes, but he could not wolf down the night. She tucked the night into her straw bed, but it jumped out. She ducked the night in the well behind her hovel, but it bobbed up. She singed the night with a candle, but it skipped outside. Hildilid sang it lullabies, poured it a saucer of milk. Shook her fist at it, smoked it in the chimney, stamped on it, spanked it, dug a grave for it. And she even, I am sorry to say, spat at the night. But the night took no notice. Then I shan't notice the night, sniffed old Hildilid, and she turned her back on it. At the moment the sun climbed over the hills of Hexham, but Hildilid was too tired from fighting the night to enjoy the day. She settled down in her straw bed so she could be all fresh and ready to turn her back on the night when it returned to Hexham. Good night. Hildilid's Night by Cheli Durán Ryan, illustrated by Arnold Lobel, read to you by Joshua Paul. Thank you very much, and good night.